Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to carve your own awesome pumpkin. I'm incredibly satisfied with the way that looks something like this. So this is a very simple guide on how to create your own carved pumpkin, possibly even a jack-o'-lantern if you put a candle inside. So I hope you guys enjoy. So the first thing you need is a pumpkin. I think we all figured that out by now. So a good pumpkin. You also really need to clean the pumpkin, especially if you got it from like a farm or something. You need to clean off the dirt, and you probably need to clean it anyways, because you don't want any bacteria or any kind of dust or anything, because we want our pumpkins to last as long as possible. So if there's some bacteria, it might defect that. And you also need a carving kit like this, or you can use a kitchen knife. That works too, perfectly fine, but it's easier if you have like these sharp tools. This one is probably the most useful for cutting open the pumpkin. And as you can see, I've brought all my friends today, so I have 1, 2, back there I have interesting pumpkin, that one, and then those right there, and then that one pumpkin, and of course I also have that big one, but I'm gonna be carving this one today. And of course you can't carve a pumpkin with intestines inside, so okay, so as you saw, I have removed all of the internal organs of the pumpkin. What a brutal thing to say. So as you can see, if the camera wants to focus, okay, that's not gonna happen. Anyways, I've removed all of the pumpkin guts or whatever with this tool. So I've just scraped it out, and cutting this hole was pretty easy. I mean, I was cutting a vegetable, so how hard could it really be? And I don't want to hear any comments saying that a pumpkin is a fruit. And I'm not good with architecture, so as you can see, this top lid is sunken down about 2 millimeters. So just deal with that. You'll have to look at that for the entire video. Anywho, look at all the stuff that I've managed to get. I mean, honestly, maybe tearing out intestines isn't such a bad thing after all. It was pretty fun too. Don't put that out of context. It's pretty bad in context too, though. This stuff smells pretty good too. I think you can make pumpkin pie or something out of that. And yes, I made sure to not have any seeds fall into the grass, because then I would have a pumpkin farm on my lawn. Although that would be pretty cool though. Alright, we're getting off topic, but we need to start carving this thing into the design that I want to make. Okay, so we're finally ready to start carving the pumpkin. And that's my cat. So as you already know, we're gonna have a pumpkin with a big, wide mouth with huge fangs and like these triangular eyes with circles inside, which are almost like from my previous pumpkin carving video. So if we want our pumpkin to be perfect, or not perfect, or look good, we need to use a Sharpie or like a marker to draw out where we want to cut. And don't worry, because it can easily be wiped off with some alcohol or anything like that. Something like that looks good. Maybe I should even make the mouth bigger or taller, and eyes. Okay, so something like that. Eye is really pointy, and it's gonna have the eyeball inside, which shouldn't be too hard. Again, it's not perfect. I'll wipe off the excess that I don't need. There we go. Next up, we're gonna draw the teeth. So again, permanent marker. Well, it's not really permanent because I can just go like that and wipe it right off. Just like so. And this part is gonna be the part that's gonna cut out. So here's the top row of teeth and the bottom row. I think that looks pretty good. Next, we will proceed to cut out with our saw or your knife along this part so we can remove this, and then we'll remove the skin. So wow. Next, we need to remove the skin around the mouth. So we need to make a line where our mouth starts and ends. And just dig in a little bit, maybe a millimeter or so. Or maybe even do a line, because we'll be removing the skin where the mouth is. I can now remove the marker to make it look good, since I've created a line. And I know right now it looks really jagged and awkward where the mouth is, but that's gonna change. I've been working on this for like an hour, and it's actually pretty tough cleaning the skin off on that selected perimeter. When you just have a tiny little saw, it was really hard scraping it off, but this is what the bottom half looks like. As you can see, I left this on here. I think that would look good as if it was like blood or something. I think it looks pretty good, and then I'll do the top half the next day because I'm way too tired. Bye. That took forever, but I finally finished the mouth. There you go. So after I finished cutting this, I started peeling the skin off. Well, not peeling, but cutting the skin off. And then I did the top part, which was a pretty big hassle. And, well, don't blame me, but I used sandpaper for the top part. It actually makes it look smoother, but it's not as yellowish out as it would be if I used the saw, which I used on the bottom half. But it looks pretty good. I left some of this here, and then I rounded up the edges so it's not all blocky. And as you can see, I made a diagonal point so it's not like straight into there. So that's the mouth finished. It might seem a little messy. Actually, I think I'll go over that with sandpaper. Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah, that's the mouth completed. So you can round it up too. And now let's begin working on the eyes. And also, when we do the eyes, and when you cut out the mouth, you want to save the parts that you cut out. So don't throw that away. We're probably going to use that material when we'll cut out the eyes, but just save it because we're going to make eyeballs. So, well, whoops, I forgot that I cut it open. Oh well. Okay, so let's start cutting the eyes. See, very easy to follow along the tracks, along the Sharpie. And be careful when you're cutting it. Don't cut straight through because we really need this part right here. Because we're gonna cut out a circle and put that in. And look, already that looks much better than just the little drawing. There we go. Actually, I've cut open the top so I can just, oh no, that doesn't work. Well, I can stick my hand through there, and there we go. These little two eyes, save that. And now we have the eyes cut out. Looks pretty good, but not good enough because I want to round it up. And you can just look and check for imperfections. I don't like the fact that this part right here is kind of sticking out behind there, so I'm gonna fix that. And I'm also gonna make this flatter so we don't have to see the pumpkin skin. And I'll do the same on here. There we go. And I'm also gonna make sort of like eye sockets. I don't know. I just want to round it up, make a diagonal cut like that. Just like so. I've rounded it up, created a diagonal line. So now I gotta check my last video to see what it looked like. Okay, basically what I'm doing is using this and cutting out a, not a circle, it's actually going to be a cylinder, and leave the top skin on because you can actually see if it looks better like this or like this. Well, it's not going to be this, but it's going to be a cylinder. Well, let's, actually I'm going to use my marker to see where I'm going to cut. Now, since our eye shape is a little bit different, we're not going to go any smaller than this actual circular shape right here. So we're going to just going to cut off this pointy part and make sure this is a perfect circle. And then we're going to round it up, create a little hole in there for the iris. So let's begin. Okay, anyways, I've cut out this cylinder, and here's the part that goes with it, but we don't need this triangle. So all we need is this, and I used this tool, this handy tool, to create a little circle, but it's not really noticeable. I'll have to go bigger with it. And I have a cylinder. Don't go below this because we want this thing to stay, or you can actually use toothpicks, somehow jam that in there. Anyways, so how does that look when I put it in? And probably shouldn't repeat the same mistake over and over. So now I have a Harry Potter pumpkin, and there's a big hole underneath. Maybe I need to flip it. Yeah, I have a Harry Potter pumpkin. Oh, maybe I need to put it in the center a little bit. Yeah, that's good, but not really what I expected. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. So I'll have the long side that sticks out pointing that way, and I'll actually use a toothpick. I'll put it in like that, and then I'll put that in, because I can't really jam it in there so it stays. It's gonna fall out either that way or slide back down to here. Alright, now that we have one eye, let's do the next one. Okay, now we have a Harry Potter pumpkin, or a very surprised pumpkin. So, it looks kind of ridiculous with those eyeballs, especially when I can just do that and it's gone. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put a toothpick so it's sticking out like that, and then I can pluck the eye in. Alright, not super successful. So far I have this monstrosity of a pumpkin. I couldn't find toothpicks, so I had to use mulch. This is what I had to use. Just found that in my backyard. Okay, this is what I've made. The second eye went in pretty good, except it's not really secured. It's just leaning, but it's enough to stop it from falling out. And then the second eye, I accidentally made it look like it's kind of coming out, but I can't really do anything else at this point because I don't want to ruin the pumpkin flesh. I also don't want this to collapse down. Actually, that would be pretty cool. A pumpkin whose jaws can go down and up. Anyways, so I think I want to save it like that. The only thing that's concerning is that you can see the black, but I don't know, maybe I can cover that up with some more pumpkin, or I can paint it yellowish color, but I don't know. Something like this. Yeah, that covers it up securely. That's good. Okay, I think that our pumpkin is finished. And I decided not to add a nose because that would be pretty much almost the same thing as the last pumpkin I did in the last video. Also, check that out if you want to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. I can't wait to put a candle inside. Wow, awesome pumpkin. Okay everyone, as you can see, I have finished the pumpkin and I'm incredibly satisfied with the way it turned out. I put 2 candles inside. I think it looks awesome, perfect, and as you can see, I made this eye look as if it's coming out. I don't know what context you can put that into, but I think it looks really good, especially the way I did the teeth. Hope you guys enjoyed. Awesome. And if you do complete this guide, make sure you smash that like button and leave a comment on how it turned out, if you liked it. And also, if you put it outside, put the top lid somehow like this, or take it off completely, because we want the air to come out or the smoke to come out, or else the candles might actually go out. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that subscribe button. Happy Halloween. Hope you liked it.